And hello, everyone, and welcome to the Center Grove Sports Show. Kevin Conrad, your host. A much different look for our Center Grove Sports Show. We're coming to you via Zoom, and tonight we're going to spotlight the Center Grove boys golf team, and we have the head coach and assistant coach with us, Matt Rodman and Coach Cale Hoover. And first, Coach Rodman, how you doing? How's the family?
Doing okay. We're working hard, both on the teaching side of e-learning and on the student side of e-learning with my kids. So everyone's doing okay.
Coach Hoover, how are you and the family doing?
We're all good and healthy. I think the Hoover family, as far as the students that live here, e-learning is probably not our favorite, but we're doing the best we can. And of course, with my wife, all I listen to is meeting after meeting after meeting when she's in the dining room doing that. And so just trying to get through it and looking forward to getting back to some normalcy here at some point in time.
Cale, I can relate, so I know what you're talking about with all these Zoom meetings.
Yep.
But, well, let's first talk, guys. Unfortunately, we lost the season, the spring sports season, and I know the boys' golf team, I put you guys right up there to win state. You were going to compete for a state championship this spring, and that's so unfortunate. I know, Coach Rodman, this has been your fourth year. You got a state championship your first year. You were state runner-up the last 2 years. I know there was high expectations with this year's season, but maybe just talk about the loss of the season, but maybe before that, maybe talk about all the hard work that your team put in before this decision was made back in early April.
I think you bring up a good point there. I know Coach Hoover and I talked about, like, we don't want the boys to think that this season never happened or never existed, because we started as a group back together, this group, the 2020 team, back in October. Doing, weights and running and conditioning workouts for a couple of months. And then we were upstairs in the Vandy gym, setting up nets and setting up chipping areas and doing some hitting and chipping stuff. So, this group was a team that worked together to get better all the way back in October. That's when we first got together and started working on and planning out kind of what our expectations for the season were going to be.
Cale, maybe your thoughts about the hard work the team put in.
Yeah, and I think Coach and I think the thing that's always impressed me the most when I became a golf coach 4 years ago was the work ethic and culture that had been created and established. And I think a lot of that was the players on the team. And this was a highly motivated group of seniors. None of the three were starters on that state championship team. Alex has been on the last two runner-ups, and of course, Caleb and Peyton were last year. But this group was highly motivated. They were putting in so much work. I was so impressed with our off-season starting last June. The state tournament ended, and those guys got right to it, and there was a tremendous amount of improvement that took place. And I think we really were primed to do some special things.
Coaches, let's go through your five seniors. Coach Rodman, you comment first. Then, Cale, you can follow up with some comments on these seniors first. Let's go ahead and piggyback off what Cale was talking about. And Alex Heck, and what a great career for this young man, headed to Valparaiso to continue his golf career at Valpo. But he's accomplished so much in his 3 years. I know, Coach Rodman, you spent time with Alex when you were the middle school coach. So you've been with him now probably 7 years,
Yep, 7 years.
Yeah, so a long time. So you got great history with Alex, and just some quick notes here I wrote down for Alex. He was as far as being part of this team for 3 years, he was part of 3 sectional championships, 3 regional titles. Of course, I think he was an alternate maybe on that 2017 state championship team. I might be wrong about that, but I think he was an alternate. And of course, 2018, 2019 state runners-up. And his individual accolades, wow, very impressive. He was the golf MVP last year for the team, Mental Attitude Award winner in 2018, Freshman of the Year in 2017, and, of course, the big one last year, he was All-State. But, Coach Rodman, what more can you say about this young man, Alex Heck?
There's so many things I could say about Alex. Alex and I have had a special bond since 6th grade. Not only did I get to experience 7 years of coaching with Alex, but I also got to have him in the classroom too. So I've seen all sides of how well-rounded of a young man he is. It's been a lot of fun to watch him grow up and mature. The things about Alex, though, is from 6th grade through 12th grade, his work ethic is, I mean, it's amazing. He is out there on that golf course hitting balls, doing whatever he needs to do to continue to get better and better. You know, the kid won sectionals and regionals last year, but he was hungrier than I've ever seen him before going into his senior year this year. He was ready to go out there and, you know, try to compete for that state championship that we thought we were going to have a chance to compete for.
Coach Hoover?
Yeah, I get the opposite. Coach, I think, had him in sixth grade probably as a student, and I had him first semester as a student. But he, you know, my first year as a part of the program, these guys were freshmen, and Alex was the number one player on our white team. And for those of you who don't know, that white team is a heck of a team. That year, those freshmen were our leaders. Alex being my number one player, and we took out a top 10 team in a tournament, and I think we probably were a top 10, top 15 team as a, I guess you can call them JV. I never did, and I probably never will. I just think we were too good and too quality, and it speaks of him. He was a leader then, just steady as can be. Just, you know, he's everything that you could want in a team member, just character and you name it. There's just not enough adjectives to describe what he meant to us.
All right, guys, our next senior is Peyton Short. Some notes on Peyton. Last year he was All-MIC, All-County. He's done so much for the sport of golf with his off-season fundraising that he's done. What a great, great young man, very passionate about the sport of golf. I understand he really petitioned hard to the IHSA to let the season continue this year, to be played this year. And I know he worked on that, and obviously it's not going to happen, didn't happen. But what a great young man in Peyton Short. Coach Robin?
Absolutely. Peyton, the word that comes to my mind is just his leadership. He was always one of the first guys to take one of the younger classmen, whether it's a grade younger, whether it's the freshman this year, under his wing. His work off the course, like you mentioned. I mean, I think he raised $15,000 to $20,000 for the Indiana Junior Golf Program over the last 4 or 5 years. With the Johnson County Special Olympics fundraiser that we've done, he raised good funds for that too. So Peyton has made a lot of significant strides during his high school career as well. He came in, you know, maybe as one that got down on himself a lot when he did something bad or did something bad, or, you know, it was a lot of attitude for him that he needed to work on. And last year he was the Mental Attitude Award winner because I gave him a goal at the beginning of the year and he took it and ran with it. So just it's been a lot of fun watching him mature and improve the mental side of the game that really was the first part that held him back some.
Yeah.
Coach Hoover, your thoughts on Peyton?
Yeah, he was always really hard on himself, and I would have said maturity as well. I mean, it wasn't smooth sailing academically for 4 years with Peyton, but he really has put it all together. I think golf-wise, the first thing I remember, the first 2 holes I believe I ever saw him play in a tournament, I think he was +3 through 2 and then made 16 pars in a row. So there was glimmers of that, but he would, you know, really get frustrated, really get angry, really get upset sometimes on the golf course. But I think that was just he wanted it so bad. And sometimes you've got to learn how to control that too. But he spent a lot of time with him, and always enjoyed talking to him. And, you know, he's a little quiet, very focused, very serious, but is really, you know, turned into a tremendous, you know, well-rounded individual, and very thoughtful in regards to others and what he can do to help.
Our third senior, guys, is Caleb Tidd, probably your best athlete as far as on this varsity golf team. Comes from a great, great family of athletes. But Caleb played a couple of years JV, got his crack at varsity last year. Some accolades that we have written down for Caleb. Last year he was All-County. Looks like in 2018 he was a Smock Tourney champion, individual champ. 2019 Crawfordsville Municipal runner-up as an individual. 2019 Johnson County champ, which was awesome for him. And then let's see, last year as a team, state runner-up in 2018, course state champs in 2017. So he was a part of a lot of great teams the past 3 years. But Caleb was one of those guys that just kept getting better each and every summer. He put in the work, and it was unfortunate we couldn't see what he was going to put out there this spring. But he was definitely a hard worker.
Oh, absolutely. He was going to do big things this spring. I have no doubt about it. It was the first chance in his entire high school career where he has been able to commit 365 days in a row pretty much to only golf. You know, I met him as freshman. Well, I knew him from middle school, but I always tell people that not recruited is not the word that I want to use. I convinced him to at least give golf a shot his freshman year of high school. He was going to be basketball only. That's what he was passionate about. That's what he really enjoyed to do. But I saw him play middle school golf, and nowadays he's bombing 350-yard drives as a senior. But even as a middle school, I mean, he was hitting 275 to 280 as an eighth grader, and you could just see the raw talent and the athleticism there. So we were really excited about what he was going to be able to do this spring because he's put a lot of time and effort in. So I'm just he's going to have a great college career.
Coach Hoover?
Yeah, I've probably had Caleb on more trips, probably Caleb and Peyton on more trips than any other kid since I've coached. And I think Coach would probably agree with me. If you just want to watch something spectacular, a range session with Caleb it's spectacular, might make you feel a little bit small about your golf game because I mean, the ball explodes off his club face like nobody else that I mean, as great a player as Noah was, it's still a little bit different than that. Just the pure raw talent and the power that he has. But great personality, a lot of fun, always enjoyable to be around. And I don't really remember him having a bad day. He's just kind of very even keel and very positive about things and a lot of belief in what he's going to do. And so I tell you what, he could potentially do some really interesting things in college and down the road in the sport because he's really pretty green when all things said and done. Loved basketball growing up and spent a lot of time with that. And so it's going to be fun to see him develop and hopefully have a great college career.
All right, guys. Our next Center Grove boys golf senior is Kyle Bachman. For Kyle, freshman and sophomore year, he played junior varsity. His junior year, he did earn a varsity letter by playing in a couple of varsity events. He says here he did have a second place at one varsity event last year. What a great young man, Kyle Bachman. I think he was going to work in the mix this year, maybe in that top 5 for you this year, Coach.
Yeah, Kyle is one that probably is one of our, just as far as school activities, most well-rounded kids. He is an integral member of the school choral program. I don't know I think he's in sound system. He was one of the leaders in the Shaboom group. So he still was able, though, to commit and work really hard on his golf game. I know that missing the spring season was really hard on him because he's texted me a few times, and I heard from his mom that he's playing some of the best golf of his life and not going to give us the chance or get the chance to go out there and show us that this spring. So Kyle's going to be one that we miss seeing what fun and excitement he would have provided this spring.
Yeah, he really improved from his freshman year through now. Just nice and steady, moved himself up the ladder a little bit each year. And, always had a lot of potential. That's the one thing we always talked about. It was a nice looking golf swing, and a lot of it was just having everything fall into place. And so, you really think about as far as disappointment goes. I mean, we're disappointed for all of them, but there's a guy that had one last crack to try to work his way into the mix and enjoy playing at potentially a state finals, which some of the other guys have. And it's too bad, but Kyle's going to do well. He'll do quite well for himself.
And our final senior, Jonah Tracy, played the last 3 years junior varsity golf. Again, another young man who's trying to work his way into that top 5 mix this year with the varsity. Coach Rodman, a word or two here on Jonah Tracy.
Jonah's going to be a personality on the team that we're not going to be able to replace. Jonah is probably one of the most positive, happy-go-lucky individuals I've ever met in my life. He could go out there and shoot in the mid-50s. He could shoot in the mid-30s. And you wouldn't see a difference in his demeanor. He was one that we could always count on to lighten the mood for us, always keep us level-headed. And Jonah was one of my favorite things about Jonah is that he always wanted to be around no matter what. Even if he didn't crack the top 5 for an event or the top 10 or, it's sectionals or the state tournament, Jonah was there. Jonah was there to watch and be that good, solid teammate that he is. And as far as his golf game goes, it's interesting to watch a range session with Caleb. Jonah's a fun range session too because that kid has the fastest swing speed of maybe anybody in the country. That's probably one of the things that Hoover and I tried to get him to work on, the most in our 4 years together. But, Jonah was a golf rat. Like, even with the spring season had been canceled, he and Caleb have been all over the state playing golf all the time. So we're going to miss Jonah a lot.
Wasn't it always amazing how fast he could go through a bucket of balls, too?
Yep.
Now, I don't know if we could talk about Jonah without talking about Kyle and the day that we thought Kyle about killed him. But that might be a story for later. But, yeah, Jonah's a special guy. I don't know that he's ever met a stranger, and I don't know if he's ever met anyone that wasn't his friend. Just outgoing, fun, always smiling. I'll be curious to see, 5 or 10 years from now what he's doing. I think he's gonna. I mean, whatever path that may be, he'll do some interesting things. He's going to be a good, I think, at whatever he does, and I think his personality. I hope it's something that he can really use that and bring everybody up around him because it's really what he does. If you need mood lightening, probably his greatest role this year very well may have been just that, lifting everybody's spirits, making everybody feel good, and making everybody enjoy their time together.
So obviously we lost the IHSAA spring season, but the Indiana Junior Golf Program has put together what's called the Senior Open. So 120 seniors from around the state of Indiana will compete June 3rd and 4th at the Legends in Franklin. From my understanding, guys, I think several, maybe all the Center Grove, I think all 5 Center Grove seniors are going to participate in this Senior Open. But I think this is just a great opportunity for the 5 seniors to get this opportunity. Coach Robin?
Oh, absolutely. Lots of thanks to Josh Bryant, who's the Golf Coaches Association president, and Ted Bishop for putting something like this on because, the spring season being canceled was hard on everyone. But it's hardest on the seniors, because it's not just that. It's their graduation. It's their end of their senior year of high school. It's all those events that are culminating. So to be able to give, and you're correct, Kevin, all 5 of them have signed up to play, which is awesome. But to be able to give all 5 of those kids, a chance to go out there one more time at least, and maybe put on the red and white of the CG to wear it to represent Center Grove one more time when they play. That's something that I know those boys are really excited about.
Also, real quick, it looks like they're putting together a state qualifier June 8th, and then they're going to do a 2-day state finals at Purdue June 10th and 11th. So there might be some Center Grove golfers participating in this, but also just another opportunity for the CG guys and guys around the state to play some more golf.
Oh, absolutely. That's brand new that just came out yesterday. So I know it's something that's still kind of in the rumbling in the works a little bit. But I'm sure that we have enough guys on the team that, our goal may be even to try to put 2 teams together just to see if we can get 10 guys out there. Because, as Coach Hoover mentioned, a little bit earlier, we don't ever look at it as having a varsity and a JV team. We look at it as having 2 super quality, strong teams. That second team can go out there and compete with just about anybody in the state as well.
Gentlemen, we want to wrap this up. Cale, we'll go back to you. I want to, first of all, congratulate you again publicly, being inducted into the High School Wrestling Hall of Fame this past winter. Congratulations, Cale.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Tell us about that great honor. I know you had some of your former wrestlers there and others that attended this
Yeah.
ceremony.
I probably enjoy being there more as the non-honoree than I do the honoree. Very special, of course. Came down with the flu that day, and I knew when I got up in the morning I didn't feel all that great, and got through it. Ended up having didn't have the coronavirus. Influenza A, and it actually took me down pretty good for 2 or 3 weeks. But I think about it every once in a while, and a lot of great years with the sport of wrestling, and so just it was special. It really was. But looking forward now to. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, Coach, you're also the girls' golf coach. This will be your third season coming up?
Third
or
season.
Fourth?
Yeah, third.
So we're hoping, obviously, that we can move forward and you guys can get playing in July and have that first match in August, early August. But to maybe get a quick preview of the girls' golf program.
Yeah, we just got our invitation to the state preview, so our schedule is now complete. Looks a lot like last year's with a few tweaks. Right now, just cautiously optimistic. Going through with plans to order our team uniforms hopefully in the next couple weeks, and I guess at this point, like everybody else, just fingers crossed that by that time we can have a season and compete one more time. I think we'll be a very, very solid team again. We've been bringing in each year a lot of talented young players, and I have been playing a lot of golf the last 6 weeks, and I have been seeing our players out on the golf course working hard almost every day. So I'm optimistic for what we have to look forward to, and now I just want the opportunity.
Coach Rodman, I'll let you have the final wrap up here. Just final thoughts. Unfortunately, we didn't have the spring sports season, but what a great run for these seniors. You look back at what they accomplished the past 3 years. Their freshman year, I know they maybe not been on varsity, but again, state champs. In the last 2 years, state runners up.
Absolutely. This group of seniors was a group of program setters for us. It's even before any of this stuff happened, Coach Hoover and I talked about how we didn't know what to even expect for next year because it was going to be really hard to replace that group of 5. And that's even before the spring sports season was canceled. They've been with me now and Coach Hoover since the beginning when we started coaching the high school boys team. So the lasting impact they have left with their work ethic, their leadership, the impact they've left on the community, that group of 5 has something to really be proud of. They should really be proud to have represented the high school golf team, themselves and their family. That's something else too that I haven't mentioned. It's going to be really hard to lose some of those family members that we were used to seeing out at every tournament. So it's the golf program is definitely one big family. So even though we lost the spring season, those kids, those family members, they'll always be part of our family. So we'll see them around the golf course. They'll come back and they'll be in constant communication with us. So that's something we're excited for their future.
Well, Coach Hoover, Coach Rodman, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for everything that you do for Center Grove Golf and this great Center Grove community. Enjoy the summer, and hopefully we'll get back to playing golf real soon.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, guys. We'll have more of the Center Grove Sports Show after this timeout. And welcome back, everyone, to the Center Grove Sports Show. Kevin Conrad, your host, and we're having a very special show here via Zoom with the Center Grove boys golf team. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, the 2020 spring sports season canceled by the IHSA in early April. So, unfortunately, the CG boys golf team did not get a chance to compete what we would think a state championship this year, at least in the mix, that is for sure. Now we got three seniors with us. We have Alex Heck with us, along with Peyton Short and Caleb Tidd. And gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Well, Alex, we'll start with you. 3 years varsity. This has been your fourth year. What a great run, Alex. Your freshman year, part of that state championship team. In the last 2 years, state runners-up. Not sure if we're getting much better than that. I know last year you guys are right there for that state title. Of course, 2 years ago you're right there for the state title. But just reflect back, Alex, and about your 3 years and how great it was.
Yeah, it's been such a blessing, honestly, to be able to play. The coaches and all my teammates have made it so special. And, I've just learned so much more about the game and have grown so much as a player since my freshman year that it's just been a ton of fun to see that happen.
Peyton, last year you got a chance to play varsity, all county, all MIC. You had a great junior year. I know you worked hard in the off season. You were really well prepared for your senior year. But just talk about your great run here with Center Grove.
Since one, I had worked for it, obviously to be on the top, obviously playing at state was such a loaded team coming in freshman year. So that mindset of just work hard every day and practice and get better.
And then Caleb, last year you had to come back from injury, but once you came back from injury, I tell you, you got your A game going and you put in a lot of hard work as well. And I think you had a great junior year. Reflect back on that great junior season for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, the injury sucked, and I was put out till about mid-April, so able to be in the full stride like I wanted to be going into the season. But I was able to come back and get pushed by the guys, and they challenged my game, so I was able to get it back quickly, and it was a pretty good end of the year. And unfortunately, I didn't play best in the state, but I was giving it my all. Yes.
Caleb, I kind of recall. I think it was a county. You were county champ last year, right?
Yeah, it was a long process, but I finally got the trophy last fall, and it was exciting.
I agree. That was a great day for you, that is for sure. We'll go back to Alex. Alex, I got some notes here, some things you've written down. You started playing golf when you were at the age of 4, and you began competing when you were 6. Maybe talk about golf. What is so great about playing golf? What is it that you enjoy so much about playing this great sport?
Yeah, I think it's, being outdoors and, just getting that time to myself, really, I guess, and just getting to be, outside and, kind of controlling when I was able to practice and, knowing that I don't need, a bunch of people, I guess, around to be with me, that I could just kind of be, by myself or with a couple of guys was really what made it special. And I think just competing too was great because it's not, you can really become good friends and close friends with the people you compete against and really form good relationships in that way. So that's what makes it really special to me.
And for you, Peyton, it looks like you started when you were about 7 years old, and you said you took it seriously when you were about 10 or 11. So it took a few years, but what is it about golf that you're so passionate about this sport?
I think it's just the competitive drive for me. It's just wanting to be able to obviously be by myself and do things my way instead of having to be coached or be with a group of guys that you have to be a part of a system. I feel like you have to play golf. You have to be on your own and you have to make decisions for you. So that's one of the big reasons and big keys I really wanted to get into it.
Caleb, you began playing golf when you were 8 years old. You got 2 older brothers. I know your guys are very athletic, very competitive family, but when did you kind of take up golf as far as made that commitment that you wanted to focus in on golf and just make a career out of it?
Yeah, was actually freshman year. Coach Robin actually came to a middle school Central versus middle school North game to come see me and talk to me to convince me to play the next year because I was pretty certain basketball was my future. And then all that changed. And then after sophomore season of basketball, I decided that I wanted to focus on golf. And it's turned out to be one of my best decisions I've made.
Alex, back to you. I know family is very important to all three of you guys, but Alex, I know your dad is probably your mentor as far as he's the one that showed you how to play this great game of golf, and of course your brother Christopher, a great CG golfer himself. But maybe talk about these two men in your life and what they've meant to you and the impact for you when it comes to golf.
Yeah, I mean, just being around them on the course, for as long as I can remember has helped. It's taught me so much about my attitude, I'd say, is the biggest thing, just how to control my demeanor out there and stay level-headed, I guess, throughout all the ups and downs that I'll encounter. And, getting to watch Christopher play has helped me, I feel like, develop, a lot into who I've become as a golfer and as a person. So that was huge.
Also, Alex, can't leave Mom out of the picture. I know she is your number one fan.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you the last time that she wasn't at one of my, events to see me compete. So, I mean, getting to look over and see her, on the cart path is always reassuring to me. So that's great.
Peyton, how about you? I know your dad was a golfer back in the day. I saw recently on Facebook his senior picture. He played for the Trojans back a few decades ago. But I know your dad's, when it comes to golf, he's your biggest fan too.
Yeah, certainly. I take his advice, and I take what he says to me very, very deep and very heartily, because he's always there for advice and always there to help me with my swings. Especially something that I don't feel in my swing or something that he just sees, he'll just tell it to me, and then off there I go, and I'm back to normal, and I'm back to playing as best as I can. So he's always there for me, and he's always been there for me. So it's been been there for me a lot.
Caleb, for you, I know family is very, very important. I know Mom and Dad see them quite often at the golf course, but talk about some of your mentors that helped you with your golf game.
Yeah, it was definitely my dad. I was a baseball player, and then I picked up a golf club and swung it naturally, and he told me to stop playing baseball. So he definitely has taught me a lot of the lessons in golf, because he picked it up right after Cameron was born. So he definitely taught me a lot of the ways. And then once I got my first swing coach, I definitely learned a lot from him, Chris Clemens. I learned a lot from him, and it's actually helped me along the way just with the mental side of the game. So it was good.
Alex, quite a list here as far as accolades. You mentioned your team accolades first, 3-time sectional champs, 3-time regional champs, 2017 state champs, of course, the last 2 years state runners-up as a team. But as far as your individual accolades, very impressive. Last year you were the golf team MVP, 2018 Golf Mental Attitude Award winner, 2017 you were the Center Grove Freshman of the Year. Last year you were All-State. You placed 6th in the state championship. This is kind of neat. You were the only player last year in the state to both win, to be the medalist for a sectional and a regional. And also you're a 3-time MIC Academic All-Conference, 2-time All-Conference, Johnson County Player of the Year last year, and 2 times as a county player, All-County, I should say. Alex, so many accomplishments for you the last 3 years. But in your notes here, you kind of said one thing that you kind of really enjoyed the most was the fact that you were a part of Center Grove's 3-time, regional champs the last 3 years, and Center Grove set a record, being 5 times in a row regional champs.
Yeah, I think that's so special to me, just because I've been friends with so many of the guys who have been on the team before we were. So to continue that tradition is just, it's everything. And especially at a golf course like Champions Point, that place has a special place in my heart. And it's one of my favorite courses to play. So I think, that's just a great accomplishment in my eyes.
I'll say, again, that's a state record. No team in the state of Indiana has ever won 5 straight regional titles. And Alex, you're a part of 3 of those. And another state record you were technically a part of, you go back to your freshman year. In that state finals that year, Center Grove set the state record in 2017, shot a 573 two-day total, which is the 36 holes state finals record. So I think you were alternate that year, Alex, on that 2017 team. But I know that was an amazing day as well, 2017.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to go down arguably as probably one of the best teams that's gone through Center Grove and might be for some time. I mean, those guys have gone on and have accomplished, so much more even after that year. So, I mean, just to be out there and to see what they did that day was, it was awesome.
Peyton, I mentioned before you were All-MIC last year, All-County. What are some things that you're most proud of as far as accomplishments?
For me personally, it's always being there for the younger guys on the team and being there as a mentor for the guys that are below me as a sophomores, as freshmen, juniors, whatever they need, and any advice I can give them for golf or any high school golf related. I'll just always there for them to help them throughout anything.
Also, Peyton, you've done an awesome job. You've generated a lot of fundraiser dollars during the off season. Maybe talk about your efforts, not only this past year, I don't know if you've done it the last several years, but you put together some tremendous campaigns and you raised a lot of money.
Yeah, I've always been wanting to grow the game of golf, especially as people are interpreting golf as an old man sport and the older generation sport. So I've always wanted to give back to younger junior golf foundations, and so we can grow the game and develop the game for the future.
Well, Caleb, here's some accolades for you. Last year, you were part of the All-County team, and like I mentioned before, you were the Johnson County champ last year as an individual. Also last year, Crawfordsville Municipal, you were runner-up as an individual. Going back a couple of years ago, 2018, Smock Tourney champion individual. And the team accomplishments, of course, over your last few years, state champs, like I mentioned before, in 2017, and then the last couple of years, state runner-up. But maybe talk about what you're most proud of, whether it be a team accomplishment or an individual accomplishment. What are you going to remember most, or what are you going to be most proud of?
I think I'm going to be most proud of the relationships I've built with all the guys that I've played over the years. Like, I can go back and remember my freshman year, Ethan Shepard, Cam Jean, those guys were very fun to be around, and watching them play so well in state and stuff was neat to see, and it honestly made me want to be like them. So seeing those good guys and how they played the golf game, it really inspired me to work on my game and make it better in any way I could.
We'll go back to Alex. And Alex, maybe talk about Coach Rodman and Coach Hoover both, what they meant to you. I know with Coach Rodman, you had him as a middle school coach. You had him here at the high school level. I think Coach Rodman said he may have had you as a student back in 6th grade. So you've been around Coach Rodman a long time, but maybe just your thoughts about Coach Rodman and Coach Hoover.
Yeah, I mean, being able to play under coach for 7 years, I guess it is now, with the middle school and everything. I mean, he's taught me so much, much more than just golf. I mean, about how to be a good person and, how to lead, I guess. And with that being said, Coach Hoover has been great to have around to keep things light and to, always be fun. And he's real laid back, so it's always great to have him around for some laughs and for some motivation and that kind of stuff. So it's great. They're a great combo to have on the team.
Peyton, how about you? Some words about Coach Rodman and Coach Hoover, what they've meant to you the last 3 years.
I think both coaches, especially Hoover and my freshman and sophomore years, whenever I was part of the White Alpha Dogs, and then last year with Rodman, I think they've helped me develop mentally, be a better golfer mentally. So they've let me just grow and just develop and help me for whatever I needed. And they've always been there for me these last 4 years.
Caleb, same for you. Coach Rodman, Coach Hoover, what they meant to you?
They meant a lot. When I first got approached by Coach Rahman, the care that he had for me and how much he wanted me to come out for the team, it really showed a lot to me, and it put like a good feeling in my heart that I was wanted on the team. And so building that off was very nice. And just throughout the years, being so close with Hoover, he coached me my freshman and sophomore year, and I can remember all the times where I'd have like a double and then followed up with a birdie, and he just asked me what I'm doing, and he, like I was scaring him or something. And Coach Robin being there for me last year through the injury, and then when I got back, he was always supportive of me and always was willing to help if I needed to take a day to just practice. He was always there for me.
Well, guys, we'll go around maybe one or two more times here. We'll wrap up this part of our show with these three seniors. Again, we're visiting with the Center Grove boys golf team, three seniors. Alex, I know next up for you, you'll be moving on to Valparaiso to play golf for the Crusaders. I know you're very excited about this next opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I mean, I fell in love with the campus when I visited, and the guys on the team are great. Coach Gring is great, and I mean the direction that the program's going and the schedule that they get to play is really exciting for me to be a part of that in the fall.
And Peyton, likewise, I understand you're going to be playing some college golf as well. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, I fell in love with University of Southern Indiana as soon as I stepped on campus. It's a very nice campus, very modern, very up to date. I believe their oldest building was built in 2012. The dorms and apartments are very nice. Academically, they're strong for what I want to go into in accounting and managerial accounting. And for the golf team wise, I feel like I'm going to fit right in whenever I go down there. I'm going to step in, and I feel like I'm going to have an impact from day one. And
Caleb, I know you're going to be playing some college golf as well.
Yeah, I went down to a school in Florida, Ave Maria, and I felt right at home as soon as I got there. They brought me in with open arms. The two coaches down there are absolutely great people, and I am so excited to get down there because I think I can lend a hand right away and hopefully lead them to success in the next 4 years.
Alex, are you going to be participating in this Indiana Junior Golf Senior Open coming up June 3rd and 4th of the Legends?
Yeah, I think that's a great thing that they're putting together. I know I was devastated to hear of, the IHSAA canceling the spring sports, but I think this is a great opportunity for, seniors, especially since we won't be back next year, to get a chance to just kind of be around each other again and compete against each other. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Also, understand there's going to be a statewide qualifier June 8th and then a 2-day state finals at Purdue June 10th and 11th. I assume Center Grove, we're going to try to put together maybe a team or a squad for this. Peyton?
Yeah, for my understanding, Coach Rahman told me that we're going to try to put 3 together, and we're going to try to go all out for this tournament.
Peyton, are you going to play in the Senior Open also, I assume?
Yeah, it's a great initiative by the Golf Coaches Association, and thanks to Mr. Bishop for allowing me to go and play at the Legends for this tournament.
Caleb, I think you're also playing. I think Coach Robin said I think all 5 Center Grove seniors are planning on playing this Senior Open.
Yeah, I think it's great. What they did for us, our season got taken away. I think it was really cool to see that they put so much effort into at least giving us some tournament to show off and send us off on a good note. Allowing us to be coached by our coaches one more time will be awesome.
Well, again, Alex, Peyton, Caleb, great careers here at Center Grove. I'm so sorry it didn't work out for you guys this spring. Like I said, we were going to be contenders, I think, for another state championship. And but you look back, and what a great run the past 3 years. Again, state championship, 2 state runners-up. I know I was there with you guys last year with the state runner-up. I know it was a kind of a heartbreaker, but we end up walking away with a second place tie with Noblesville, and I know you felt like you guys had something this year for that state championship run. But all the best at the Senior Open, and if you guys do compete at that state qualifier, all the best in that as well. Good luck to all 3 of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But more of the Center Grove Sports Show after this timeout. And welcome back, everybody, to the Center Grove Sports Show. We're talking about the Center Grove boys golf team tonight, spotlighting the Trojans. Unfortunately, the 2020 season was canceled back in early April due to COVID-19. But now joining us here on this segment, we have two of the seniors with us, and Kyle Bachman and Jonah Tracy. And gentlemen, thanks for being on the show with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Kyle, we'll first start with you. Kyle Bachman. Kyle, as a freshman and sophomore, you played JV, and your junior year, you did earn a varsity letter by playing in a couple of varsity events. But maybe talk about your progress during the offseason. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to play here in your senior year, but maybe talk about your progress and what you were really looking forward to in this senior season.
Yeah, it was really just I was of course, working, playing a bunch over the off season with my dad, and then going to Texas and playing a bunch with my uncle and my little cousin, and just seeing an improvement from the end of last year, where the start of last year I started off a little rusty because I didn't pick up a club and over the winter when I really should have. But I saw starting this year, I was in a groove that I had at the end of last year where I was playing some decent golf. And now, of course, since the season's canceled, I'm playing some of my best golf I've ever played. But it just is what it is, and excited to play in the Senior Open with the guys.
Yeah, Senior Open coming up in June. We'll get that in a little bit, guys. But you mentioned, Kyle, you're playing some of your best golf. I had Coach Rahman on in the first segment of our show tonight, and he said he got a message, I think, from you or maybe your mom, somebody. It got the message to him that you were playing some of your best golf of your career.
Yeah, I was through freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I was just shooting 80s, and I would be happy with a low 80. And now I'm shooting mid 70s, and then my worst round is a 79 so far. I've played 14 rounds of golf, I think, and it's just for some reason something's clicking right now, and I'm just out there having fun, not worrying about anything. So
now we'll go over to Jonah Tracy. Again, 3 years with the junior varsity, was looking to get into the mix this year with the varsity. And Jonah, talk about your off season as far as all the preparation to get ready for your senior year, the hard work. And I know it's very much a disappointment for all of you guys not to get this opportunity, but it's all for naught because you're going to get a chance to play in this Senior Open next month. But talk about your off season.
Yeah, so same as Kyle. I've been preparing, hitting a bunch of range, playing a lot. I've been just every day I can out on courses. And it sucks to not be able to play, but, yeah, I completely understand. And, yeah, like Kyle said, I've been playing my best golf in a while too. I've been mid 70s to lower 80s every single round. I've, a bad round's mid 80s right now. Yeah, it's been playing a bunch with friends, a couple rounds with my dad, just been – out at Legends, and I'm really ready for this Senior Open event thing.
We'll go back to you, Kyle. It looks like you began playing golf when you were 3 years old, so a long time ago. When did you kind of get the bug that you took this sport seriously, and when did you really start putting in the time to really make a run at this sport?
Yeah, so I said, since I was 3, that was the first time my dad put a club in my hand. My dad played high school golf. And he played for Center Grove and stuff, so he's always played golf, and he wanted me to play golf. I really started getting into the game more when I was 10, playing a bunch with my dad, and then of course I played football, basketball, every little kid did. But I always had golf, and then when I got into high school and middle school, starting middle school, it was just golf, and I just focused all my time on that. And, yeah, so about around 10 is when I actually started taking the game seriously.
And Kyle, I would assume Dad probably your mentor when it comes to golf.
Yeah, of course. I've had a couple lessons in my life, but everything is from him. Even though sometimes I don't
take it from him and I'll go see like a professional. He'll tell me the exact same thing as my dad. And I'll come back and I'm like, yeah, Dad, this guy told me to do this. And he's like, I've been telling you that for the past year, but you don't want to believe me. And yeah, but he's been a big part teaching me how to swing and everything to getting the motions and everything.
And Jonah, for you, I see you started playing golf when you were 7 years old. When did you kind of take this sport seriously?
Ever since the first sixth grade season. It was like that fifth grade summer, end of fifth grade year. Been like actually focused on golf and playing golf. Yeah, ever since the sixth grade middle school team.
Now, did you play for Center Grove North or Central?
I played for North.
Okay, because I know Coach Rodman was coaching, I think. Was he coaching Central at that point?
He was at Central, yeah.
Okay. And it looks like you put down here on your sheet that your dad also was a big influence when it comes to golf.
Yeah. Same thing as Kyle, basically. He got me into the game, and it's been a mentor ever since.
Kyle, maybe reflect back. Obviously, you missed out on your senior season this year, but maybe what are you going to remember most about your opportunity to play for Coach Rodman, Coach Hoover here the last 3 years?
Probably just the support they gave me, like ever since freshman year when like I was just barely on that cut line, and he was like, I really want you to be on this team and learn from all these guys and play with them. So he put me on the practice squad, and I ended up at the very end of the season playing in like a couple JV matches, and he just really helped me improve and really kept me steady, and even helping me with my swing on the range sometimes if I was struggling with something. And he was always there to tell me to slow it down, because that was always my biggest problem. I always get way too quick, but he was just always there for me, always pushing me, always wanting me to get better to be the best golfer I could be.
How about you, Jonah? What are you going to remember most over the past 3 years, your time playing with the Center Grove High School boys golf program?
I'm going to remember all the Friday practices, the fun days, the qualifying round days during the week, all the team dinners, and just how both coaches have been there just to push and keep me motivated to keep going.
Kyle, how about just a word or two about your fellow seniors? What a great senior class. There's 5 of you on the senior golf team this year. I know Alex Heck, he is so accomplished as a golfer. You saw Peyton Short, somebody that continuously worked and got better. Caleb Tidd, likewise. You see what Jonah's doing. You talked about your game, but maybe just a word or two about your fellow seniors.
Yeah, these guys are like my brothers. I've been with Caleb, Jonah, and Peyton ever since middle school. 7th grade. 7th grade is when I played, because I played football my 6th grade year. But like seeing Caleb and Peyton just work, and even Jonah like just kept pushing me to compete with them, even though they were a better golfer than I was, and I knew that, but it still wanted me to keep pushing. And then Alex coming in my freshman year, I knew how good he was competing against them at like North versus Central matches. And I knew he was always going to be really good. And I even sometimes I think about now, I'm like, I remember Alex doing something with his swing. Maybe I'll try that. Just even mimicking him, like that's how much of an impact they've put on my golf game and my life. And they're just really great friends and brothers to me.
Jonah, same question for you. Just a word or two about your fellow senior teammates.
Yeah, like Kyle said, we're all good friends. We act like brothers to each other. And I was with Peyton my 6th grade years. We both played. And then obviously Kyle and Caleb joining in 7th grade year. We've all been together since then. And it's been everyone's pushing each other to just keep going and get better.
I mentioned early on that there's going to be a senior open at the Legends coming up June 3rd, June 4th. And Coach Rodman tells me all 5 of the Center Grove seniors are going to participate in this. I know this is going to be very exciting for you, Kyle, to get a chance to compete against the very best seniors here in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, and like even if like it's not like maybe not even competing, just playing with them one more time. That's just what hit me really hard when the season got canceled, because I was really excited for the senior season, as all of us were. But yeah, with that senior open, it's just a really great opportunity to play and be coached by Coach Rodman one last time before everyone goes off to college, and like they go play college golf, and Jonah goes to IU, I go to IUPUI, something like that. It's just gonna be fun.
And Jonah, I understand too, coming up in the month of June, besides the Senior Open, they're also going to have the state qualifier June 8th, and then a 2-day state finals at Purdue June 10th and 11th. I know Coach Rodman and some of the other fellow seniors, and early on in the show, said hoping to put a team together to compete in this. Is this something to be of interest to you to try and compete in this state qualifier?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure yet. It hasn't been talked about, but I'm pretty sure we're going to play in that. And yeah, just how Kyle said, it's just one last time to go have fun with and just compete with all the teammates and just friends.
Well, gentlemen, we'll wrap up. Go back to Kyle and just future plans. Kyle, what's up next after you finish up here at Center Grove High School through graduation?
I think I'm gonna go to IUPUI to study sports marketing. Try to get into IU. Haven't heard anything back from them, so it's still an opportunity to go there. But if anything, I'll go to IUPUI for a year and then transfer, because I've always wanted to go to IU with my mom, dad, and sister all going to IU. It's just been a really big dream, and but as of now, just going to IUPUI.
Okay, great. Jonah, how about you? What's next up for you?
I will be attending IU to study finance or something in the business world. I don't know what exactly yet.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for being on the show. Again, unfortunate that we lost this season due to the pandemic, but I think the Trojans this year, we were set to make a run at a state championship. We had the talent. Last year, runner-up. Last couple of years, runner-up. But great careers, and all the best to both of you. Get a chance to play in that Senior Open. All the best to you, and good luck in college as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's going to wrap up our Center Grove Sports Show for tonight. Until next time, this is Kevin Conrad saying so long, everyone.